And I am live. Hello, everybody. I hope you all are having a lovely evening. Um, and depending on where in the world, it may be late afternoon, it may be night, or it may be first thing in the morning. So it is new moon, my favorite moon cycle, I believe. Between when the moon is dark and you see that beautiful sliver slowly emerging from the night sky. So I absolutely love this moon phase, and I will give it some time for notifications to drop and people to show up. Sometimes my shows are a little bit last minute just because I never know. Hi, Jackie B. Because I never know um, when my schedule will allow for it or if my energy allows for it because I do have, some health issues, like with fibromyalgia and things and stuff, where sometimes I need my rest, and other times it's like, yes, let's do this. We have energy. So I realized, again today that it was the new moon, and I was like, let's do this. So, hello, Jackie, my dear. I hope you had a beautiful day. And even though I don't do a lot of astrology, I did pull out this wonderful book and deck that I need to start working with more because the artwork is absolutely beautiful. And it's the Heavenly Bodies Astrology. It comes with a beautiful hardcover book. Um, Even the pages are in color, and the author and is the artist, and she made these decks and even the beautiful box out of her collage pieces. So it's been a deck. It was a deck that I was not going to leave behind. So we'll give it a few more minutes. I hope you're having a beautiful day, Jackie. And for those watching on playback, thank you for taking the time to do so. Even if you can't watch the whole show, that's still cool. Let it run for a few minutes. Do a thumbs up would be awesome. Even a little happy emoji, especially if you're having a great day. And if your day is a little hard, then go ahead and mention it too, and we'll all send you some love if we see your comment in the chat. And it says I have a few lurkers, so welcome lurkers. And let's see, I've been busy, but it's been a productive day. I did have a great day. Shan and I went to the farmers market for the first time since we moved here. The weather's nice and cool, so it was a nice, enjoyable walk this morning. And I got the most wonderful croissant. Oh, it was heavenly. Brought it home, warmed it, put a little bit of butter on it, just excellent. And we got a couple of homemade chocolate chip cookies, so I'm looking to having that for dessert after dinner tonight. But lots of local people doing produce, and one of the amazing things is one of the gentlemen that we met today, his soups that he makes. He gets all of his ingredients from the those that are part of the market. So everybody at the market supports everybody else. So he buys produce from the locals. They're with him to make the soups, and word of mouth, and just really wonderful. Lots of beeswax, beautiful candles, and lots of honey, some ceramics, but lots of locally homegrown, non GMO, just really wonderful. So, yeah, it was very nice. So, thank you, Jackie. I'm glad you had a good day today, too. So, I know we have some people watching, so I'll get started. So, today is the new moon, and it's in the sign of Libra. Now, I don't do astrology, I just know basics because once we start, juggling that jargon with conjunctions and trines and things, my as Heather has always said, my brain kind of glazes over. But I do have this beautiful deck, and I pulled out some cards to kind of just show today what the energies are, basic energies. And hello, Kristen Louise. Be right back. I go get coffee. Wonderful, wonderful. And Kristen, I hope you had a great last Friday. I think that was. Oh no, your New Orleans trip is coming up. I cannot wait to have Kristen on so she can tell us all about her trip to New Orleans. And Carolina is here. Hello, my dear. And my Irene. Hello, Irene. So, yeah, today is the new moon, even though this shows more of a full moon. They didn't, I was surprised with this deck that they didn't include a new moon in there, but we do have the new moon today. And again, for those coming in, this is the Heavenly Bodies Astrology. Beautiful artwork. The artist is a crafter. She created the deck, and just very, very lovely, very soft, um, just very beautiful images. And I know my fellow reader, Amy, at Esoteric Rose Tarot, she also brings these cards to some of her readings, and she shares as the moons and the energies and the signs change. So, according to for the moons, again, this is a time for, whether full moon or new moon, it's about satisfying emotional needs, remembering to nurture ourselves, and others, that may need that support, that compassion, or that nurturing. Someone just to talk to. Don't need to have the answers. But just to sit and to listen to. So new moons again is about planting new seeds, new energy, new products. It's a great time to work with shadow aspects of ourselves that we want to connect with, and time for meditation and dreaming and letting go of what doesn't serve us, in all different ways, and how we do it through any type of ritual, no matter how big or small, something that is very powerful and very meaning for us. And hello, Jax, you're not late. We're just getting started, girl. And some a lovely little gift that was sent to me, an item that I want to share too. Great time for new moons is working with black salt. And here I have homemade black salt from the one and only Miss Tarot D. So I love keeping this around. I don't tend to open it and sprinkle it around, but I like keeping my jar near me during readings and stuff. So any possible negative energies or things that might be drawn to our light or to our readings, all get absorbed and transmuted into that beautiful little jar of black ash salt goodness. And hello, Moira. Moira is here. Thank you, everybody, for popping in. And so it is the sign of Libra, and Libra is about consideration, fairness, and harmony. So balance is a big thing with Libra. We have the justice scales, and in this deck, I love how she has both, like the full moon and the new moon represented, or it could be the sun and the moon represented in balance, which I love. Libra is an air sign again, so I'm learning. I know my earth, and I know my fire, and but still learning the air and the earth. So it is an air sign, which is all about open mindedness, objectivity, and learning. So the air, like the swords, suits in the tarot, all about learning, communication, thoughts, clarity. So we move on to what type of sign is, and it's a cardinal sign. And again, I'm still learning this. And hello, divine timing. And look who's, well, Tom, at least I'm going live, dude, right? I know you've been busy, so Tom, I'm looking forward to. We all are looking forward to your next video. And as always, you're always happy to reach out and pop on at any time and hang with me. You know that. He's my little bro, everybody. So if anyone is not familiar with Tom, seeing that Tom's been kind of non-existent lately with all the work he's been doing. Be sure to go over, check out his channel. He's got some wonderful deck reviews, and yeah, learn a lot from Mr. Tom, a little bro. So it's also, when it comes to the yin and the yang, Libra is actually a yang, which surprised me. I was thinking more of a feminine, but it's actually considered part of the masculine. So we have, again, the balance between the moon and the sun. It's a yang, and it's about proactivity, expression, doing, and forward motion, which is good because in this new moon, we want to start working on new projects that we can um, plant and let the seeds germinate and build energy and working them up until they start to show harvest and fruition. And so that's what I want to share from that deck. Oh, such kind words. But I learn a lot from you, Tom. We all do here in this community. So I love when Tom pops on and shares something because I always learn something new. And with the sign in Libra, I went to cafeastrology.com. She always has wonderful little blurbs. I won't, thank you. There we go. Bada bing, bada boom. Talk about my mod of the year or mod extraordinaire. This chickie right here. Thank you, Jax. Thank you, thank you. So it's square Jupiter. This is when my brain starts to go. When they talk about squaring Jupiter, is the focal point of a yod with Saturn, Neptune, and Uranus. So a lot of that kind of just goes right by me. But I like looking at when they start describing the energies and how to work with it. You're awesome, Jax. So this is a great time for committing to personal goals. Again, the new moon, not putting the stresses of like New Year resolutions, but maybe working on something. And it's a chance to build our negotiating skills without compromising our principles or needs and without resorting to appeasement. So, Jax, I think that may even resonate with you as well with some of the things that's going on with you. And it says here with potent Libra energy, this is a time that we can make important life changes. And it says Libra teaches us to make peace with those around us and establish more harmony in our environments and create a sense of order and balance in our lives, especially when it comes to our relationships. And what really stood out and I wanted to highlight, and it says here, this is a cycle in which balancing our close personal relationships becomes an urgent desire. Negotiations may be especially effective as we are inclined to assert our needs in ways that don't offend others. So for me this is about trying to have those difficult conversations with loved ones, possibly with coworkers, people in our daily lives where we need to assert our needs and our concerns. And while trying, it's kind of like trying to juggle that without, feeling like the other party is being attacked or that for them to get defensive, but making sure that we find a way of keeping that balance where we can assert and share what is important, what we need, and in hopes that that balance can be returned to us. I can't fawn anymore at all. I need to start a new life today. Every day is a new day, Irene. So no fawning done. So there we go. So that's what I wanted to share. I didn't want to go too much into that, but cafeastrology.com, she's wonderful with her monthlies. I've been wanting, I need to get back into doing more of the moon because even Richie from Lawn Man Tarot, excuse me. I keep thinking Lawn Stash when he does it with Gerald with the regular tarot stash. But Richie, Lawn Man Tarot, gave me a reading a couple of years ago stating that I need to connect more again with the moon cycles. And he was definitely right. And now that I've moved here and I'm trying to acclimate, I really need to because this is where for all of us, we get to feel which moon phases where we're most grounded and we feel in our sense of power. And for me, sometimes the full moons can be a bit much, and I know I need to draw back a little bit. But during the waning and the new moon and the waxing, that's where my energies tend to relax and we can tap in. So it's going to be different for all of us. So I'm going to take a quick sip, and I have 7 people. Thank you, everybody, for popping in today. And for readings, I did come up with a themed question for the new moon because we are in the Samhain season. Tom, I don't know if because of you doing the type of magic work that you do, I can ask you, and maybe Carolina. I'm not sure exactly what type of magic or ritual that you do, but it's an interesting concept that was brought up a while back. I think it was on some show about a year ago where they were talking about, they say Samhain, this time of year, is when the veils are the thinnest, but other people have said that they feel that they're also the thinnest during the opposite season where we are at with Ostara and Beltane, as we're coming into and out of, the spring equinox and into the summer. And then there are some folks that say that the veil, it doesn't change, that it's always, at a certain, I don't know how to say this. It's at a certain, I don't want to say thickness, but there's a certain translucency or transparency to the veil that doesn't change the whole year round. So I'm wondering if maybe some of us find this time of year, because of our energies connecting more with our intuition and our own psychic abilities, that allow us to be able to connect more with others on the other side, as with the others that may feel the same, but for Beltane and Ostara. And then for some, there is no change. And let's see, and Mama Sushi is here. How you doing, Amanda? Amanda got another little bun in the oven. Beautiful baby on the way. Can't wait to see her when she joins us. And let's see. Yeah, I am more in the doesn't change camp than I am in the other. I don't particularly stick to any holiday calendar. So, yeah, sushi. Yep, sushi is in the house. So there, it's very different. And let's see what Jack's the Golden Compass trilogy book series. The Subtle Knife is the second book. It's very good. The subtle knife is sharp enough to cut the veil between two different realities, but it comes at a cost. I think we watched some of the, Shan watched the whole movie. I'm not into a lot of movies these days, but I think the Golden Compass, wasn't Nicole Kidman in that? I think she played the villain or something. Your third trimester already? Wow. So when is she due, Amanda? Because I'm not familiar, because I've never had kids, so I'm never we're quite sure which trimesters are the ones where, you're getting closer. So that's wonderful. And go changing the computers, which I need to get. This iPad is just ready to. But so, because of this being this time of year and connecting with our ancestors, and we are in a sign of balance and learning how to be able to nurture ourselves, this brings up a lot of shadow work that we can work with. Things that, because we're always going to have shadow work, there's always going to be that balance between the light and the dark. And so, with it being this time where veils are supposed to be the thinnest, I thought it would be good to maybe do some new moon readings, asking our ancestors, what aspect, shadow aspect, should we be working on right now or looking to working on right now with their help. So let me go ahead and pull up my banner. So I tried to word it a little bit smaller. So it is basically shadow work my ancestors can help bring balance to. So shadow work my ancestors can help bring balance to, help me bring balance to. So we can reach out to our ancestors. And again, as a reminder, we can't expect them to do all the work. We have to be proactive. We just can't rest on our laurels, so to speak, and expect everything to be done for us. But what can we ask our ancestors, particularly at this time, of year? Depending, if this is, when the veils are thinnest for you to be able to communicate with them. You're going to have a C-section on oh, too bad it could have been the 21st. That would have been solstice, baby. This still solstice, baby, though. You gotta love that, Amanda. Wonderful. And let's see. Movies were okay. Books phenomenal. So much detail. And about how things are connected and sometimes mirror itself. I love compasses. Lately, I've been like really getting into things with the compass. A lot of beautiful artwork out there. So, of course, Jax, I figured you'd be on there on the list. So today for readings, I have my Samhain Oracle. I have my glyph, most definitely perfect for these readings. And for the tarot, I have my Ethereal Shadow Work deck by Vixen. So I brought that to the party. So like I can forget Jax, but I gotta go ahead and start. And Kat, hello, my dear. Good to see you. Thanks for popping in. And really quick too, thank you everybody who came by for the Sacred Feminine show yesterday. We had a great show with Gerald being our guest. Him, Nancy, and I had a wonderful time, and we thank everybody for being there and supporting us. I had like 20 people at some point watching, so that was wonderful. And let's see what Jackie depends on which sign the new moon and full moon phases and how it affects me. Yep, we are all very different, so I totally understand that. Let's see. So talking about baby, everyone's saying hello to each other. I learned so much during this show. And a lot of those subjects can be even, expanded further. So I'm looking forward to expanding more on, especially being an artist, Judy Chicago's work. The one that, with Casey Jenkins and what she was with her crocheting. And so definitely a lot of more conversations and topics, to cover in the future moving forward. So, again, shadow work, my ancestors can help bring balance to, help me bring balance to. And so let's get started. And Jax, as you usually do, because you know me, when I'm shuffling and reading, I sometimes don't always see chat right away. So if you see somebody requesting a reading, can you please put those arrows? I know you're really good at that. So if you're able to, no pressure. Okay, so Jax, shadow work. Your ancestors can help you work with to bring balance, to bring some more balance. Okay, I see you, Jackie. And anybody else want? All we have to do is type in me. So I got Jax and I got Jackie and Can Do. Awesome. Okay, I'm back. Yay! We can officially start the party. Oh, Tom, I miss hanging out with you. We gotta set a date. So, alrighty. Especially next month when actually I can't do channelversary anymore because I'm not on the old channel, I'm on the new channel. But we'll see. Okay, so alrighty, shadow work, ancestors. And hello, Shay. Shay has joined us. Oh, and Shay did a me. Okay, there we go. You're slacking, girl. I didn't see the. Just kidding. So we have Jax, Jackie, and Shay. Alrighty, we'll read Heather, me. Oh, okay. Heather, oh, me. Okay, so after next week, my life should open up a bit. And ascending butterfly is here. Oh, that's a beautiful butterfly from I can tell from the little picture. Jackie B plus magic. Okay, so. Okay, Jax, your ancestors. Let me help you with. Ooh. I'm going to be doing a separate show in the future just using these, and we can explore and read the book, read the prompts in them, and get to know that deck a little better too. And this deck here is hard because look how long these cards are. Man, I don't know what he was thinking. But the dude's got long fingers, so. So I have oblong, I have long rectangular. Okay. Okay, let's see what we get, Jax. All righty. So let me get caught up here a little bit. So cat. Okay. Got it. Thank you, my dear. And Okay, so another me for butterfly. And I'm at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Usually 6 is good for me, but okay, divine timing. Okay, so I'm going to cut it right now at divine timing, unless Tom, you would like one. Let's see. 111 subscribed. I know, isn't that a cool number, Jack? I mean, Cat. That was weird. I was looking at Cat and Jack at the same time. Okay, so Jax. So from your Samhain Oracle, shadow work ancestors can help you bring balance. What they're here to help you on your journey, my dear, on your path. You got the card Journey. Don't stop believing. Actually, one of my favorite songs by them is "Wheel in the Sky," and "Only the Young." "Only the Young," I think, is my favorite by Journey. So, daughters of our mother, walkers of the unknown, take with you on this journey all that you hone. So, really tapping into um, the feminine ancestors to help you on your journey. So, with this new moon, maybe doing a personal ritual where you sit, you reach out to them on however you feel you best connect with them, and to give thanks and gratitude. With any of these readings, giving thanks and gratitude to our ancestors that are willing and able to help us from the other side. And your next card is your glyph is the fortune card, horseshoe. So again, to me, just looking visually at this, it's, one horseshoe is you and the other horseshoe represents, your ancestors. So you're connected, you're chained, you're not fully chained, but there's still that link that's connected there. So they're there with you. It's almost kind of like an arm in arm, sort of like that. And that's right, Kristen Louise is back. So your tarot cards, my dear. Your top card is Knight of Wands. So this is, and I love the knights in this deck because they're all dragons. So we have the Knight of Wands, the fire-breathing dragon. So with this card here, again, charging forward. The knights are, the do-getter, not the do, well, the go-getters, the do-getters. They, right out the gate, especially with the wands, it would be in a fire. This is, where things can, just get really fired up. For me, I'm looking at your other card, and it's about maybe moving forward and asking them with help on this journey. I'm seeing that they can maybe help you, inspire you when you ask them to help give you inspiration, and motivation to do what needs to be done. And this is also looking at creativity as well, because when we go through a lot of stress, we need something that's creative to kind of help us get grounded and help us get balanced. I mean, this is Libra, so getting balance, balancing play and balancing work. And so with that Knight of Wands, tapping into that energy of, motivation, creativity, new ideas going forward. They're there for you with that. And then your other card underneath is the Three of Cups. So again, they are there with you. They're there. They will be there to help you celebrate. They will be there to help support. They will be kind of like, even though you may not have necessarily a cheering team on the physical side, know that you have your cheering squad, your cheering team on the other, and that they are celebrating with you. And that's what I have for you, my dear. And hello, Brienne. I see Brienne Love came in. So no one makes it through this world unscathed. And that dragon, that fire-breathing dragon, man, that's some energy right there, girlfriend. Let me tell you. I tell you what. So let me just take a quick sip. You put this here and that back. And see if I missed any other It's all kinds of fucked up. Yeah. But they're there to help you, especially with that Knight of Wands girl, because that fiery energy, tempers, passions kind of get heated. So you can look at it as a way of being motivated to do something, to get things done in a creative way, in an inspired way, but also making sure that we don't, like they'll say, we don't burn any bridges, or burn our own fingers, or what was that one saying? Burn our own. Never mind the sayings that come to me, but you get the gist. So just making sure that we're in touch with, how fiery and how passionate we get, and how we can direct that energy. Um, all right, thank you, butterfly. I actually used to do beaded jewelry, and that was one of my pieces. The colors are in association with the triple goddess. I have the white, like the pearl, for the maiden. I have a red stone that represents the mother, and the black for the crown. Oh, excuse me, everybody. Be right back. Grandma calls. Aw, I love that. We're talking about ancestors. Grandma calls. Um, all righty. So Jackie B is next. And for those here too, there will be holding court with Jackie. When us looking at the court cards, is going to be on a temporary hiatus. Her boss changed her work schedule, so she's not available on Wednesdays now, and she's going to be on holiday with hubby. So it'll probably take a couple of weeks, but I will keep everybody posted on when we will be back. And then this one here, of course, is the Triskelion, that also represents, maiden, mother, and crown. So this used to be a lot looser around my neck. Now that I've gotten older and gained some weight, it's getting a little snugger. And hello, Mona. Okay. Okay. So these oblong ones are taking a used to shuffling. They slip and slide out of place. And then we got these big ones. Oh hell no, that's interesting. Oh, we are about balancing with Libra. Oh my, oh no, this is interesting. Okay, Jackie B. Shadow work, my ancestors can help me bring balance to. So right now, it looks like your path to you, isn't quite clear moving forward. And this could be spiritual, it could be family, career, or just in general, all aspects of life. You got the corn maze, and it says here, although your path is unclear, it is there waiting for your faith to lead you. So they're there to help you, but it's you in the end again that the faith, because if you don't have faith or don't believe that you're going to be able to achieve something, um, then it's going to most likely not work, because we're putting a negative energy into something instead of a positive energy. So they're there to walk, like with Jax, on that journey road, but they are there also to help you, through the core maze. They'll be there with you. Um, but they're saying it's up to you to find that faith. I'm wondering if you had this card before, Jackie. Curious. And this card actually belongs in my Maven deck, but somehow it ended up in my Samhain deck. And so your next card, which I love how this is all, these next couple cards are all about balance with Libra. So in this card, we got, the moon, especially. It looks like it's a dark moon, or it could maybe be seen as an eclipse, but we got the dark moon, but we have the moon represented. And in this one here, you have the sun. And Libra, again, about balance. And so this is about vitality, and it's the sun. So again, bringing that balance. And when it comes to the vitality and how your ancestors can help you, it's they're reminding you. Um, well, let me take a look here because I'm saying so your tarot cards. I'm just going to show you your tarot cards, and I'm going to sit here for just a second. So we have the Justice, and what's in the Justice? The Scales. What's Libra? The Scales. So we're looking at about balance, finding justice. This could be karma as well. So if we're going to be looking at in ways of shadow work, um, it may be that some of the work and things that you're working on, that's part of our shadow work, um, to make sure that um, they can be there to help you with that sun energy, with the vitality, and with the sun that connects with your solar plexus, which is your place of personal power. So here they're here to remind you also that you can get through this maze. You can find um, that faith. You know, you can tap into that faith and let your inner power, that sun energy, um, that vitality, because it feels like right now that there's a lack of vitality, because of this core maze, not being sure where to go, where your path is. um, they're there to know that they're there to help you bring that balance. But I keep feeling like when you wake up, I don't know if you ever like wake up in the morning like, oh, it's morning already, it's another day. Try start embracing the sun, the mornings, and trying to get some of that vitality in being out inside in the sun, allowing that. Because sometimes if we work too much in the shadow, we don't get enough light, then we become unbalanced. And this is again Libra season, being balanced. So they're there to help start helping you um, find that balance. They're there to give you that support. And with the Justice card, I also got the Six of Cups, which is about nostalgia. Memories of childhood, memories from things that, not just in childhood, but in life, that bring you that sense of peace, that happiness. It is like giving your little inner child a big hug. And so it's just feeling like whatever this shadow work that needs balancing to is taking place with something in a younger years, well, childhood up, where there was maybe a feeling of unfairness, that something there was like an injustice done, and but this time, after all this time, you're still looking for that balance, and how and having to balance um, what happened or what has not happened, and trying to find some sort of peace with that. And so, with all these cards, again, it's about emotionally also being grounded, trying to get balance, and know that your ancestors are there to help you to do that. And that's what I have for you, Jackie B. And I have somebody new in chat, Nico. I got Libra Mercury. Oh, is that your signs? I'm not good with signs. I'm just sharing some of the cards and what we're looking at with associated with the signs. But astrology is a very fascinating study. It's an art. Let me move this over here so it goes back into the right deck. You are a Libra rising too. Very interesting. Wonderful. You're welcome, Jackie. But yeah, whatever that is in the past, the nostalgia, um, whenever, and this could be too, when things feel unbalanced, when you feel like, things that you have to work with that's has to do with shadow work energy, just, remember things in the past that did bring you joy, that did bring you happiness with your ancestors, and that they can help you also when you're on that walk through that corn maze. I know sometimes things can look a little dark, um, but it's always good to know that we have our loved ones there looking out for us. Okay, next up is Shay. So Shay, shadow work, my ancestors can help me bring balance too. So what shadow work? Because we need to be grounded, we need to be balanced to be able to, especially if it's a lot of heavy heavy energy that we need to work through. Oh, she came out again. She's been a popular card. I feel like I'm getting very similar cards for everybody. How interesting that came up again. And remember too, a lot of these mini readings can also resonate with all of us on a collective level as well. So we're all here having a human experience, and a lot of them are very similar. And we have someone named Phil. Phil, hello, Phil. Phil, welcome. A couple new people to my channel. Okay, so this is Shay. What do we? Whoop. See, that's weird how those cards got turned around. Okay. So, Shay, I'm just going to go jump right to the tarot cards really quick. Let's see, a couple fives. Okay. So right now, we have the Five of Wands. And so there is some conflict going on. Typically, well, because the Five of Swords can also be seen as a card of conflict. With this one here, there's a struggle of some kind. This can be conflict, but this is like a struggle. Possibly with personalities, whether through family, through co-workers, but there is some, and this could also represent thoughts as well, things that we struggle with in our daily lives. Struggling to figure out how to make ends meet. And with the wands being, a fire and, connected to creativity and motivation and inspiration, it's sometimes we're firing off on so many neurons all at once. We're trying to figure out which way to go, and that can bring sometimes anxiety. It can bring sometimes the state of a panic, like we freeze. We don't know quite what to do. So there's some sort of struggling going on, but the underlying energy is the mage. So you are in control. You are able to manipulate and manifest what it is that you want. So right now, take a look to make sure that you are not adding to or manifesting this Five of Wands as well. This could be in ways of maybe enabling an individual, maybe in your life or several, where, again, like with Libra, what we stated earlier from the Cafe Astrology article, if we remember, they're talking about how can we communicate our needs effectively without basically creating any, friction or confrontation. So this underlying energy is that you are, as a reminder, you are in control. You are in control of all your tools, your thoughts, what you say, finances, everything. You are in control. And so moving forward with, making sure that you can manifest more self-confidence, manifest more, feeling more self-empowered, just being in touch with your own personal power, being able to set those boundaries, being able to stand in your power, feeling empowered, having that confidence, and basically, they're in the clouds here, standing your ground. Again, the mage has all their tools. You have everything that you need also within you, as above, so below. So connecting with your ancestors and being grounded at the same time within yourself. Your cards, so for me, this Five of Wands is feeling like this might be more of like an outside influence, because you did get the Banshee card. And it says here, heed my warning, dear child, for what I hold is far from unsung lullabies. Swallow a nail and you can expect bleeding from within. So it's reminding us that whatever is causing this conflict, that we have control of how we handle this. It's kind of like feeling hatred or anger or things at people, and it's basically like us swallowing the poison, expecting the other person, or persons involved. So right here, it's a card asking you to heed how you react, who you give your energy to, who you allow to get into your thoughts, and cause that struggle, that conflict. And again, shadow work, my ancestors can help you with all this conflict. You also got the horseshoe. So if this is about having good fortune, having them connect with you, again, it's like being arm in arm, and knowing that they are there with you. But again, you having to tap into your own personal power. They're there to remind you of that. So that's what I have for you, my dear. Alrighty. Let's see, we have somebody else, Ulysses, October 19th, for watching this reading. Sure, today's the 21st, so let's see. Yes, Tom, thank you, thank you. And yes, I was thinking that collective messages with so many similar cards. Yes, exactly. Everyone's personal readings is a little reminder or a little nudge for the rest of us. And she says, thank you, makes sense. You're welcome, my dear. Okay, so I'm going to take a quick sip, and Irene is next. I think that really resonates in a variety of ways, yeah. Because we've all been in these certain situations, at some point or other in our life. And again, our ancestors are there to help support us through that. But knowing they can just help so much because we're here to learn. But I love that, with the Libra and the balance and being able to feel that support from them, that gives us that sense of encouragement. So that when we do succeed and we realize we did a lot of the work ourselves, it makes it even more yummier in ways that we see that we are victorious. Okay, so Irene. Come on, Irene. I know it's Eileen. I couldn't help but saying Irene. So let's see. Oh, Irene, I kid you not. You got the ancestors card. Oh, we are asking our ancestors, right? I know you know you are, dear. I mean, I don't know, but I've seen your comments. Oh, everyone sings to that. Come on, Irene. Do 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 do. Oh, I like this. I mean, okay, let me just take a look here. So, Irene, you got the ancestors card. So, the shadow work. My ancestors can help bring balance to right now. Well, you pretty much got cups here. We got a lot of emotions going on. So, let's just take a little step back. So, your ancestors card says, they hiss a quivering, so deep only roots of your soul can lift the nakedness hidden within the vows made in silence, an ancient chill walking upon the spine. Wow. They hiss a quivering, so deep only roots of your soul can lift the nakedness hidden within the vows made in silence. That's some profane prose right there, let me tell you. So for me, this feels like, hi, Nuko. Questions are actually closed. I have quite a few still to do. So if I have time, possibly. But right now, questions are closed. So looking at this ancestors card and reading this, if we take a look at the card, she's asleep underneath there. But look at that chopping block too. So to me, looking just at the card, it's kind of like you laying down, because I know you love being out in nature and camping, but it just feels like you know you can call your ancestors, you can call your family. Those roots, you have very deep roots, not just to the earth, but to ancestors as well. I think some very even far back. And this one almost kind of feels like a sleeping beauty too here. Um, Roots call up the nakedness hidden within the vows made in silence. Now, with this shadow work, now this is going to be something very personal to you, because I'm feeling that there were maybe some very dark vows or things that you had felt, or said things to yourself where you know that um, things could have gotten a lot darker, if it hadn't been for your ancestors. I think you feel, you know, that their support is there, and they kind of bring you. I'm saying bringing you in and out. Um, they hiss a quivering so deep, but who's the they? And only you can answer that. What was on that chopping block? What did you have to? What do you have to chop? What do you have to release? They're there to watch, but it's up to you to wake up. Like she's like the sleeping beauty. She's like the sleeping. Um, you know that song "Wake Me, Bring Me Back to Life" by Evanescence. I'm getting that kind of vibe off of it. When she sings about feeling dead, only you can bring me, and she's referring to somebody else, but in turn, she really needs to do that herself. And her ancestors, her guides, are there to help her with that, help you with that. Your glyph card is the vessel, which is insight. So they're there to give you insight. I feel like a strong maternal there as well, helping you through this. Making sure that you are taking care of your body, the vessel, making sure you are getting enough water, but acknowledging you receive insight from them. And I know during certain, your daughter used to sing that song. Oh, really? Amy Lee's an amazing singer. She still got that voice too after all these years. So this vessel is making sure you take care of that vessel. And with this chalice here, like we were talking about yesterday with the sacred feminine, with the symbols, the chalice representing the feminine body, the womb as well. Connecting into your insight, connecting again with your emotions, um, taking that water, taking those tears, taking that insight, and applying that to the soil, to those roots. Your tarot cards are on top, Seven of Cups. Right now, you don't know there's so many choices that need to be made, and you don't know how to make them. And again, one appears, in the card like a chalice. So again, a lot of emotional upset and turmoil because you don't know which one to focus on, which one to go to. There's so many choices and options that need to be made. Um, but your underlying card, though, is that you have the star. And so keep your dreams, keep your goals, have that faith. Um, Again, too, with the star, it's typically shown her pouring water again from a chalice. And this is a different deck, but again, the star energy, your ancestors, star beings. And I know you go into nature a lot, and I know you find beauty and respite from looking up at the stars at night, and knowing that seeing those stars possibly as ancestors as well, looking down. It may seem like you are alone, but you really, truly, none of us are truly, really ever alone. Um, but you do have your ancestors there. And again, though, I'm just going to read this one more time. They hiss a quivering so deep, only roots of your soil can lift the nakedness. So so your roots, your soul's roots, have to find a way to lift themselves up, making vows again, the right ones, discarding the ones that were not healthy, and asking your ancestors to help you fill that cup, help you to guide you into making those choices, connecting with your body, making sure you're getting plenty of rest, but making sure you're getting plenty of water, and not to let go of that hope and your dreams. They say, look to the stars and you're never alone. So that's what I have for you, my dear. Put this over here. Speaking of water, Johanna had an amazing voice, but she didn't. She's up there singing right now. Yes, I never traveled the kind of waters I am now. So they're there to help you. She's there to help you. But I love how something made me think of that song. So possibly that was her, I would like to think. Thank you for your hard work. Oh, thank you. I think that's for me. So on to the next, we have Cat. Ooh, starting to get warm. That's usually what happens after I do a few readings. You're welcome, Irene. And being up in Canada, I'm sure you have such, I mean, I've seen pictures, just beautiful country, up there. So when you do go camping, I can just imagine the stars that you can see. Synchronistic. Yeah. So, Cat. Oh, okay. That one jumped. Oh, I love these cards, but they're hard to shuffle. Both decks. My fingers aren't that long for Vixen's deck. Okay, so Cat, you got the card Bat. Bat is invoke thy power and fear not the hidden. What lurks is coming with undenying change. So change is on its way. That's the only thing that's a constant, and that's change. And this card is talking about invoking your own power, your own personal power, to be able to rise up and to be able to face these challenges, these fears head on. And they will bring change. And which is interesting because it's the word change, but it also sounds like the word chain. And your next card is secure and not. So whatever these chains are, changes that are coming, your ancestors, you're linked together. Um, they will help you. They will help you find that place of security. When according to this undenying change, if there's any fear, just know that you are secure, that they're there with you, but it's you who has to do the knot work. You will see the change. So this could also be, let me look at this. This is very interesting. It's the first time I got this card. And I just love, it's so hard to see, but these tiny little gold inlays are just really beautiful. And with starting crochet, I'm seeing the chains. I'm thinking how you need a foundation. You need a foundation chain. And there, that's okay. That's going to be how you're secure. These chains are going to provide the foundation that you need. So know that they are there when you ask them, as we all do, our ancestors, our guides, with gratitude. Um, and thankfulness for them to be able to be there to help. And two, knots are also about strength. And there's also spell work that you can do with knots. And especially if you are trying to, um, things that, so when you put into a knot, and it's, I haven't done a knot spell in a very long time, many years, but at one point you start cutting away the knots, or you untie them and you release that energy. So I would look into doing knots and what you can tie to bind and then to release. Your tarot cards, again, like with the Five of Wands, we did get the Five of Swords, and the Five of Swords is about, okay, butterfly. I'll make your reading last, my dear. Thank you for letting me know. So the Five of Swords is that sense again of battle, of betrayal, winning at all costs. What are you willing to fight for? Are you willing to, you know, um, if you were to win the battle, would it be worth? It's kind of like learning how to pick your battle, so to speak. So this top card is kind of like the energy that you're focusing on right now. Things are coming where you feel betrayal, possibly backstabbing, and you just feel like there's possibly you're chained to this situation or to this individual. Um, but to know that you can also look at those networks as your security, as your strength, as your foundation chain, your ancestors, and they're there to provide that again for you. And they're saying you have, they can't do it for you, but to know that you have that personal power and not to fear what you can't see. And your bottom underlying energy card is the Wheel of Fortune. So things are moving in more of a positive spin. But with the fortunes, with that Five of Swords, is going to dictate really how this wheel ends up turning. And again, is it the battle worth fighting over? Is it worth being right? I know a lot of times when we get that feeling of being bullied, um, I felt that a lot, even recently, where you feel bullied, where you feel like you've been betrayed. Um, you know, do you stand up? Do you fight it? Or do you just walk away and let that be? So again, it's about what is important to you and letting go and winning again of what costs, and that will dictate that Wheel of Fortune card, my dear. But just know that you have a strong foundation with your ancestors. They're there to provide that support chain, but it's you who needs to be able to. It's you that needs to do the work, having to tap into your strength, your power to make um, that decision on which way that wheel will turn. Um, but yeah, I totally get the energy of that. And much love to you, my dear. Good luck with that. Sometimes it's like we like trying to get that last word in. I mean, how something, and if we do need to fight, we do need to stand up, and we do need to win that battle. Knowing that whatever the outcome, we can't be afraid. We have to be able to stand in that power. You're welcome. So let's see. Barfly just had to leave. I have divine timing. Are you here, my dear? Divine timing. Are you here? sip, sip. Yep, a lot of these cards do. And this is the time of year when, with that Libra energy, tapping into that, again, the communication, how do we address, again, the Five of Wands, Five of Swords, with that article. This is making sure that you can reconcile, you know, expressing your needs, and to what extent do you feel safe for, and where you have to maybe do that and feel the fear, but like that one saying, feel the fear, but do it anyway. So it's something that, your ancestors say they can help us with. Um, but in the end, it's something that we end up having to um, do ourselves. But they can help us, maybe give signs, maybe help, nudge us in a certain direction where things are a little bit clearer for us. So, divine timing, I take it you're not here. So, I think I will end then with butterflies reading. And if divine timing shows up, then I'll. Oh, these cards are so hard to shuffle. Ooh, I went from 10 down to 3. But thank you again, everybody. So I just saw my chat jump. Divine timing. Where are you here? Going once, going twice. Alrighty. So I will end then with the reading for butterfly. We just ask that if you do request a reading in the future, if you can be present, or let me know if you have to leave. And then I can take your name off the list, which could possibly open it up for another person to get a reading. So, alrighty. So this is for butterfly. Shadow work. Thank you, Irene. Ooh, wolf. Speaking of wolf, there is a group called First Aid Kit. No, it's a really weird name for a group. And what's even stranger, I believe these young ladies are from Sweden or Norway, but they love Americana music. And I think they came out first in 2013, and they have a song called Wolf Mother. It's a great song. It's very folk Americana, but really cool, like rock and edge. And you wouldn't know that these girls were like Sweden or from Norway. They sound like straight from the South, American South. So I highly recommend them. First Aid Kit. So that's for butterfly. Gotta find another way of shuffling some of these difficult cards. Ooh. Ooh, 2 court cards. Okay, so butterfly, thank you for helping your elderly neighbor. That's so sweet of you. So I am going to start with the wolf card you got. Devour the ferocious calling within the howling of your spirit. Run wildly into the freedom of your knowing. Kind of like women who run with wolves. So your ancestors. I don't know, butterfly, if you're connected to any ancestors or aware of any ancestors where the wolf is part of a totem for their clan, or has been, a totem for generations in your family. But with the wolf too, wolves are, they mate for life. The alpha male and the female, they work in a pack. They take care of one another. They're very loyal, and so they're reminding you to get out there and howl, to connect with your wild side, your wild nature, and being able to do that will bring out, that freedom, that sense of breaking free, tapping into that wild nature, um, and letting her run wild. And so we're going to move to the next card, which is from the glyph, is the hope card in the rainbow, which is beautiful. And so that is a very positive card showing that you have hope, the rainbow energy. Again, this could be crossing the rainbow bridge as well, connecting to your ancestors, to spirit, resonating with colors, working with chakras. That will help too with something like this, because we have the waters as well. Howl at the moon, yep. Or like Ozzy used to sing, bark at the moon, right? Um, so that's beautiful. I love that hope card. They're there to say not to give up hope. They're acknowledging that you also have hope, and that you do a lot of rainbow work. And I think Butterfly does the ascending, so she does work like this. Um, Never got around to reading it. Oh, Women Who Run with Wolves. Yeah, it's very interesting. It's a very good book. And I'm just going to digress for a second. And she also wrote a book on Mother Mary. It's called Untie the Strong Woman. And it shows stories of putting Mary in more of a, not such a meek and humble, where it shows her and how she's celebrated for her strength, her ferocity as a protective mother, and yet still being kind and compassionate with. I mean, it's she's got a couple of amazing books. So yes. So Butterfly, your tarot, you got this top one is the Queen of Pentacles. So this is about being very grounded. Here, let me grab I did bring my pendulum. So when I get core cards, I like to verify. So Queen of Pentacles. Does this card represent Butterfly's energy in this reading? And I'm getting a nice yes spin. So Butterfly, Queen of Pentacles, the nurturing mother, the nurturing energy, being grounded, being giving. Very good, of course, again with finances. Pentacles, have to do with finances, but finances, well, abundance and prosperity doesn't necessarily connected with money. That abundance that you feel having, needs, and making sure people's needs are taken care of. You're the one that makes sure that, you know, people didn't, like with the dinner party, like with my mom. If you left hungry, that was your fault. So whenever people come over, making sure that there was food on the table, that they felt nurtured, they felt listened to, being very grounded, connected to nature, being connected to Gaia, Mother Earth, a very grounded, mothering energy. And then the Page of Cups was your underlying energy. And let me ask the pendulum if this Page of Cups is also for um, Butterfly. Does this card represent? Oh, and I'm getting a strong no. So this Page of Cups is a message coming through. This could be somebody, Butterfly, that you know, that's of a young age or has very youthful energy. But the Page of Cups is intuition, artistic, very empathic, very. There was a word I was looking for. They're very open up to their intuition. The messages they receive, they're not necessarily ready to discredit because of our conditioning as we get older. With the page, this is about someone who is, connected to nature, connected to the intuition, connected to the mysteries of the universe. So these are things that are just coming to me that I'm saying, and it's very interesting because this is an AI deck, um, but it's again like the chalice, like the cup, and out of it is growing a tree. So there is that spiritual growth, um, connecting, kind of like the universal tree, connecting. So grounded and rooted in the emotions and being able to. So I feel like this is, let me ask if this is an ancestor. Is this a particular, this is Page of Wands, represent an actual ancestor, an ancestor. Oh, I'm being a strong no. Is this somebody currently in your life? Yes, so there's this underlying person and or energy that's coming through. That's the Page of Cups. And in my Fyodor Pavlov deck, it's my favorite because it shows that being the artist, tapping into that creativity, the intuition, allowing the art to flow, allowing the emotions to flow, and not being afraid of being able to play with that. So this individual, you provide that mothering energy, that security, that stability for them to allow that expression, allowing them to connect and again with hope and with wow and with wolf. So this is very interesting reading. I think too, in many ways, you inspire this individual because they see, your connection to the wild, the the wild woman within, trusting within your own intuition. Again, with the wolves being in nature, feet on the ground. Queen of Pentacles, nature, feet on the ground, being grounded. So we have both very grounding and watery emotional cards here. So that's what I have for you, Butterfly. Um, Thank you for letting me read for you. And if you can, when you after you hear your reading, if you can leave a message in the comments, that would be wonderful. And everybody else, I know Jackie, you've been amazing leaving comments after. A couple of you are just been very wonderful doing that for me. So when the show's over and it allows you to post a comment, even if it's a little emoji, that would be wonderful. So I hope everybody has a wonderful new moon. I know I will probably do a spread reading for myself a little bit later when I'm more grounded and I'm, completely cleansed of everybody else's energy. And let's see, today's Tuesday. I might do something tomorrow. I'm doing more solitary on my channel. But I do have Ivana Intuitive, super duper girl herself, is coming back for a fun Friday night. Who knows what we will talk about? She has such wonderful light filled energy that I'm like really looking forward to having her. And then next Monday for the Sacred Feminine, we have Sabrina. Um, Sabrina, I apologize. I can't remember your name of your channel off the top of my head, but Sabrina is amazing. I love her energy. She's got spunk. Um, Jack, she reminds me very much like your energy with that spitfire, that spunk, and speaking your mind. And, um, yeah, so I look forward to, and then also Jilly from Little Zen, Little Ooh, Crohn's. Oh, I'm meeting new people. I apologize, but I will be having Jilly joining us as well, even possibly on a Friday. So, lots of stuff to look forward to. And thank you again, everybody, for joining me. Hope you have a rest of your night. Have a good night, and we'll see you next time.